Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Welcome to the garage. As I have done in the past, this is not a real episode, in that a real episode would be me showing off some construction aspect of the Jag Special or some modification aspect of the Vitpillen. Rather, this is what I'm going to call a motorcycle interlude. Some things happened over the last couple of months that I'm pretty happy about. The first of them is I actually did get to go to the track. I got to make it to the very last Cyclesmith Track Days event on the 29th of September. And then another motorcycle related thing happened just within the past couple of weeks that makes me really happy. So off we go. I got to go to the last Northeast event of Cyclesmith Track Days, held at Thompson Speedway in Thompson, Connecticut. And I had dropped back to Red Group from Yellow because I hadn't ridden the Vitpillen in a year, and I thought I was going to be a little bit afraid and slow. But I got out on the track, and I was mostly up to my former speed from last year. I mean, I was hauling ass for me. And one of the most fun things was I got into a couple of real fun little scraps with that rider over there on the right, a guy on a Yamaha R3. It seemed like he had a little bit more acceleration than I did, but I had a little more corner speed. And you can see right there that even though I went by him on the outside of 6, he had a little bit more acceleration, and I had to let him by in 7 because 7 is not a passing zone. And there goes one of the faster guys on a faster bike. That happened pretty much every session. As we go through 9, well, maybe you won't see. As we go through 9 and we come onto the front straight, see him pulling away from me there a little bit. And he gets a little bit more distance than me down the front straight, although you can't see it because my gauge pot is in the way. We come to the braking markers, and it seemed like I used a later braking marker than him, and I was braking harder than he was. I don't go wide enough through 1, and I'm slowing down more than I need to. But then I catch him up again in 3, and that's pretty much how the session went. So here we are later, a couple of laps later, we're going through 5, and we come around the second apex of 5, and then I do get by him, but that's because he was behind some slower traffic, and I don't consider that a clean pass. I want to pass somebody just on my own merits. Okay, here is I think this is the 12:45 session. Yeah. There's Dicing Buddy on the R3. He takes off from the grid ahead of me with an instructor behind him. But then the instructor goes by, he goes by going into 4, and then I catch him up again. Although I hate turn 4, I'm terrible at it. I always enter it too fast, and I shouldn't go into it too fast, just get around it. But anyway, here we are going through 3 again, and as you can see, I've caught him up pretty well. But this is kind of funny. See that bike right there? Goes by me, goes by him, and then passes us both on the outside of turn 4. I want to be that guy. Here we're going through 5 about a lap later, and like I said, I have a little more cornering speed than he does, and then I pass him clean. I get right by, and I pass another bike on the outside of 6, because that's fun. Come on, get behind me. So I get through 6, going up the short straight. To 7, I come around 7. I'm gonna pass another bike. You can hear behind me the high revs of a 4-cylinder bike. Oh, there he goes. So I get around 9, and then I get a little motor on that rider right there. And you see that white bike? Yep, another 4-banger. Boom, goes right by. I had a really good time. I was up to speed. I didn't feel scared. I'm looking forward to next season. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And now, here it is, October 28th. I've got the trailer hooked up because I'm going to Holland, Mass to pick up a 1977 Honda CB 400F that will become a new race bike. Well, let's go get that CB 400, shall we? Try not to forget that I have a trailer on the back of this thing.
In a quarter mile, take exit 6B for US 20 West for State Route 131, Sturbridge.
Will do. So it turns out that I didn't actually go looking for another motorcycle. In fact, let's see, is this 6B? 6B, yeah, there we go.
Take exit 6B, then merge onto US 20 West.
Yes, ma'am. So anyway, I didn't actually go looking to buy another motorcycle. I had, in fact, back in the spring, bought a 1973 Honda CB 500 that I was going to turn into a vintage racer, with the idea that it wouldn't be quite as terrifying as my old 77 GT 750 would have been. So I thought, well, the 500, that'd be about the same horsepower, and I could probably get it down to about the same weight as the Vitpillen. And that was the plan. But any bike that age, the forks get pitted and rusty, and so the guy I'm going to buy this bike from, he put an ad on Facebook Marketplace saying that he had a whole bunch of old Japanese bike fork legs, and I was like, cool, I'm going to go look at them. So I went up there, and I went to look at him, and in fact, he had said, oh, I told him what I wanted, and he said, oh, I got a CB 500, but it turns out it was a CB 500 twin, not the 4-cylinder. And I was like, oh, well, I wanted some for a 4-cylinder, and he said, oh, well, I have another small 4-cylinder Honda in there. I've got a CB 400, and I was like, no. Because those things are cool. They're like these little jewel-like 4-bangers. And so I went into his barn and I looked at it, and it's complete. It needs some love because, 1977, it's pretty old, but it's complete. It's all there. It is so complete. It's got the factory toolkit under the seat. He said his dad had bought it 10 years ago with the idea that he would restore it and ride it on the street, but it never happened. And so here I am, the happy recipient of his dad's not getting it running on the street. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to Holland, Mass to pick up a Honda CB 400F. See you there.
Go. Yeah, just remember you ain't got brakes. Yes. Wow, we got a brake on this side, right? I don't know if it worked. Well, let's find out. Yeah, it might. It's a drum, so it does. If not, I'm gonna. Do you want to ride it down, or you want me to ride down, or?
I don't know if riding it down is a great idea.
All right, I just didn't know how you wanted to attack that. Hang on a second here. I got your rear, so I'm kind of holding you.
Endeavor to not wipe out.
Yeah. I'll stay attached to you just in case. Does it feel like it's grabbing?
Yeah, it's working. It's working good.
Good, I'm glad. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It does. The
Take
tire
it
does
slow
not.
with that last bump so you don't bottom your pipes out. Boom, shakalaka, you got plenty of room. Boom. Free wheelie. Woohoo. I'll give you a push here. Go. You're already riding it.
Yeah, this is great.
Freaking throw your knee out.
Yeah. Here it is. I'm not going to use my field recorder so we get all the wind noise. This is Steve, who sold me the bike. Thank you for hooking me up.
Of course.
Here it is right here. This is a sweet little jewel. And it's gonna be a race bike. It's on the trailer. We're gonna, at least the trailer won't jump around so much on the way home. Cool. Good times. Good times. This is gonna be sweet. Sweet race bike. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be great. Gonna have a good time. The CB400 is loaded up. Let's see if we can back out of here without crashing into anything. So I am on my way home. That barn of his is that Steve's storage facility is really not that far away from me. It's in Holland, Mass, which is out in the woods, but it's like half an hour. It's not very far at all, really. So I'm going to be home in another 12 minutes, and then we'll take the bike off the trailer. Hopefully I'll be able to have Pete next door help me. We have arrived. Let's see if I can back this thing up into the driveway without smashing it into the wall. This is gonna be sketchy, because it always is. Yeah. Well, we are home. Me and the CB400. It was an easy drive, and now I actually do wish that I'd had a camera up the driveway, because that was absolutely the best job of backing the trailer up the driveway that I have ever done in my life. So, success. I am so psyched. This is going to be so much fun. Check it out. A little bitty jewel of a four-banger. Yeah. A little bit of a flat tire. Not too much crust on the rims. Have to see what they look like inside. This thing right here. It's a little rusted out in the tail cone. I don't know if you can see right there. Rusted. Tail cone's a little rusted out. Yeah, the rest of it isn't too bad. Kind of understandable in a motorcycle from 1977. Let's see, what's that? Actually, it was manufactured in 1976, so that makes it 48 years old. No, wait, that thing is 49 years old. Oh, look. The last time it was registered was in 1985. I can add that to my collection of antique motorcycle license plates. Cool. All right. Let's get it off of that trailer and into the garage. And there it is in the garage with its stablemate, the Vitpillen. I think they're going to get along just fine. Of course, I forgot to turn the camera on when I was unloading it from the trailer, but as you can see, I got it off the trailer without maiming or crushing myself. So, hey, great. We're home. Well, that was a whole lot of fun, wasn't it? I got a new race bike. Yay! But now, back to the Jag Special. 2, 1, 2, time for donuts! All right,